Hi, I'm Phazon Kiwi, and in this video we're looking to discover what is Dorfromantik. It means in German, romance for the countryside. As a game, what does that tell us? Let's find out. Dorfromantik is in fact a relaxing indie puzzle game made by Tokana Interactive. Going into the options menu for a second here, we can see you got your usual audio sliders, got language and a few other options, as well as a clear progress one for those that want to really start over. In graphics, it actually has a bit more than I would have expected. It's got your resolution and full screen things, but it even has some anti-aliasing options, VSync, and other things that I just did not expect for a game of this size. If we go over to New Game, it has Classic Mode, and it has a Creative Mode coming soon. I should mention that this game is in early access, but it already feels mostly feature complete already. Let's head into the Classic Mode and take a look. Okay, so here we see we have a tile that we can place down. It's the first on a bunch here. You have a whole bunch. Currently we have 40 in the stack. It also has some little houses on it. You can rotate it around, which becomes very important for playing the game, and you can place it. So let's pop it down here. Now it's got a 3+ there, which tells us that it has a quest. Quests are how you gain more tiles to keep your game going so you can keep increasing your score. This forest here has 5+. So the next tile here also is a 5+ forest. Now if we put it next to it, if it goes white like that with the shine around the trees, it tells us that the tile is linking up. So if we click this, it lets us know we've completed 2 quests and we gained 10 tiles. Now this next one has a river, which means that you can't necessarily place it with the river pointing towards tiles. It resists. It has to link to where other rivers are or where it won't interfere with things. Now this one does have a house on it, so if we attach it this way, it'll connect to those houses, giving us a few points and telling us now we only have 2 to gain. This forest here has another quest on it, and that requires 49+, so it means it can be 49 or more total. If we link it to there, it already links and completes the quest further. As we can see, you can even place ones where they won't interact directly with a tile, but you could set up a move for later. Our houses here are in an unfortunate position where, because of the river, we can't place them right next to it, so we might want to set up for a future move. So we'll pop it here. Now we've got fields and such. Another house on there, so you're noticing that the tiles can have more and more things on them and get more complicated as time goes on. This makes the grander puzzle somewhat challenging in the later parts. My highest score hasn't breached 10,000, and from what I can tell based on a few other people online, that is not an incredibly high score either. So I still have a lot to learn with this game. I do find the game incredibly relaxing. It's the kind of thing I've been liking to put on just while playing some music or listening to some videos, and I've just found it enjoyable overall. This one here has train tracks, house, forest, and fields on it, so you can have as many as 4 or possibly more if I've yet to encounter different sort of elements on each tile. It creates a very interesting game. You end up with some very complicated end states, and it gets bigger and bigger. I've currently yet managed to get so big that I've run out of space, and I'm not sure the game does. It allows you to zoom out quite far, zoom in. Aesthetically, I think it's pleasant. It's got a simple little kind of like cartoony, hand-drawn aesthetic to it, and I really like it. I find it quite calming and nice to look at. And as you get to see more biomes and colors, things just get more interesting as you go. You end up with fields that have a sort of bluish or purple hue to them. You end up with forests that are showing autumn colors. It really does have a pleasant mix of things, and this tile here that I'm about to place is a granary. You unlock more special tiles, and those ones when they pop up are more likely to have quests and such, and they can in general add more to the game aesthetically. I'm not sure if they add much function other than the quests, but it has been a rather enjoyable part of the experience, unlocking new tiles and just seeing how that sort of thing looks. Up to the right here, we have some current sort of milestones we can reach. Gain a high score of 10,000, I've yet to hit that. Self-sufficiency, puzzler. So it gives you little objectives that you want to try head towards to keep playing the game, and I've found that that alone has been enough. So what is it about this game that's grabbed me so much? I think, for someone like me who does tend to play a lot more, I guess, games that would be more complicated than Dorfromantik, things like XCOM and such grab my attention quite a bit, I find this to be just relaxing. And if I don't have so good a game with it in terms of score, I still usually learn something, a tip or a trick or a way to approach things next time that'll help increase my next game and make me do better. Not every game needs to be complicated, and I think Dorfromantik shines in its simplicity, and I honestly think that it's worth a look at. If there were a couple of gripes I would have, it's that sometimes when hovering over the quests and it's showing you the highlighted edges, such as with that house there next to the 2, it has a little red sort of bit that pops up there, or the green ones there, they can be hard to see depending on the camera angle, so you gotta really move around and check. And if there was one other thing I would probably add, that would be maybe a sort of undo button. Not at zero cost. Maybe undo, remove a tile that you accidentally place in a position that compromises basically your entire strategy. I've done that once or twice. And while not frustrating because it is my own fault, it would be nice if there was an undo button. But I think something like that in a game like this would at least have to come with a cost of score penalty, like lose a couple hundred, or you lose that tile but you do get to remove it. And you can only do it to the last one you placed, so you can't hit undo, undo, undo to unravel a whole bunch of stuff. Otherwise the game becomes less of a puzzle and more of just sort of a pile laying and removing game with no rules. And rules in a game like this are important, as rules help the structure and core of what makes it what it is. I think Dorfromantik's a pleasant little game, and I honestly think anyone should give it a try. Dorfromantik's not what I'd call an expensive or hardcore game, but it scratches a certain itch, especially after I get home from a long day at work and I want to sit down, veg out, but kind of want to occupy my mind. It's been really great and kind of soothing in this odd relaxing way. The visuals, the music, just everything about it just has these nice little quality of life things that I think improve it and elevate it above other games of its type. I think Dorfromantik's a solid go, and for less than $15 New Zealand, so roughly about $10 US, you can pick it up. It's in early access, which means they're still adding more, but it feels pretty much feature complete already, and that's something I can definitely get behind. If you liked the video, consider subscribing, throwing me a like, and if you want to see more of what I'm doing, I'm actually live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Phazon_Kiwi. I may even be live right now, you should come hang out. I'll put a link below. Until next time,